Welcome to the Vulgar Uplander, where the metaverse meets real life. A place where we speak our minds, no sugarcoating, just a raw vibe. Don't be fooled by what you see, this channel's not for the faint of heart. We dive deep into the unknown, tearing down walls right from the start. The Vulgar Uplander may shine, but never judge a book by its cover. This is the space where anything goes, no limits, no filter, just flow. Embrace the chaos, let your true self show. The Vulgar Uplander is here to shake things up. Buckle up, let's ride and never give up. Digital realm, exploring what's beyond the screen. Unafraid to speak our minds, uncovering truths that need to be seen. The Vulgar Uplander speaks the unspeakable, challenges the status quo. In this ever-evolving metaverse where possibilities flow. Say what you mean what you say. This is the space where anything goes, no limits, no filter, just flow. Embrace the chaos, let your true self show. The Vulgar Uplander is here to shake things up. Buckle up, let's ride and never give up. Anything goes, no limits, no filter, just flow. Embrace the chaos, let your true self show. The Vulgar Uplander is here to shake things up. Buckle up, let's ride and never give up. This is the space where anything goes, no limits, no filter, just flow. Embrace the chaos, let your true self show. The Vulgar Uplander is here to shake things up. Buckle up, let's ride and never give up. Just flow, embrace the chaos, let your true self show. The Vulgar Uplander is here to shake things up. Buckle up, let's ride and never give up.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy L Slack, and today I'm joined with X1TheGamer. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really good. That's a song, man. I enjoyed that. I was bobbing along. That's cool. I like it. You said it was long before. It's not too long. That's good. It's golden.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes or something. Yeah, it does give me enough time to like tell my kids, "Hey, be quiet. I'm doing a thing," or get those sort of things set up right before this thing kicks off live.
It's true. It gets me pumped up. It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, man. When I had TML on, he was like, "Damn, that's a long intro." I'm like, "I know, but I get jacked up every time I listen to it. It gets me going."
Let me ask you this: because you stream a lot, what's your pre-stream ritual? Like, do you get a rock star? Do you get an energy drink? Do you take what's your go-to pregame?
If I can, I'll brew some tea because I love tea.
Oh,
but
nice.
If I'm in a hurry or something, or I'm being lazy, I'll just grab like a water or a soda, as I have today.
Oh, no. So, what's your go-to? What's your soda?
Gosh, I'm like a Pepsi fan at heart.
Oh, okay.
But lately I've been drinking Coke.
Okay, Coke's good. Coke's good. You want to know what the best is though? Dr. Pepper cream soda. Have you ever had it? Dude.
Yes, my wife loves that, and I'm just like, nah.
Your wife has fantastic taste.
She does. I mean, she picked me, so that's one thing.
It's so good.
Your go-to? Is it Dr. Pepper?
Dude, Dr. Pepper is my weakness. Yes, and ice cream. Dr. Pepper and ice cream, and I'm a happy man.
Oh Lord, I've never put Dr. Pepper in ice cream.
Oh, well, vanilla ice cream, it's good. But no, I usually have standalone Dr. Pepper. Maybe some ice if I'm feeling a little wild, but
Okay. I look, man, my wife, she loves vanilla ice cream, and me, I'm just like, give me the weirdest ice cream you can possibly find. And I just like it the way it is. And
yeah.
I don't typically put stuff in it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, ice cream is just solid. Oh, we were talking. You're next to Tillamook. That's the only reason you were talking
Yeah,
about your town, Tillamook, and I was like, oh, that's the ice cream. That's my reference. There you go. See, I'm a huge ice cream guy.
coming back all the way, yeah,
It
Tillamook
always
ice
comes
cream.
back to ice cream.
I could eat so much damn ice cream, it's ridiculous. And I'm lactose intolerant, so it really punishes me.
Oh,
And my
dude,
wife is like, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" I'm like, "Look,
it's
I'm from
just that
Tillamook.
delicious.
I eat the cheese, I eat the ice cream, I don't care."
Yeah, that's
So,
wow. That sucks. Lactose and ice cream lover. It's
yeah,
torture.
I can't. Nothing I can do about it. So I just suffer, and that's okay with me. Well, I mean, they probably suffer more than I do, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I'm happy to be here. I've watched you guys live. In fact, the one of the first videos I ever saw of you was your like in the car as you're driving, thoughts on Upland. And I don't even remember what the topic was that you were talking about, but I was like, dude, this is cool. You have a lot of those. I really like those. I like the authenticity of those, just sitting down, hanging out in the car, on the fly. So well done. Happy and excited about what you're building here and what you're doing on YouTube.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. When I started doing that, I really thought it would just be like a weird little thing, and I thought people would be really annoyed by that. And then I thought about just not doing it anymore. That the in my car thing, because I thought I didn't like the road noise. And
Mm.
then I had a bunch of people like, "No, dude, just keep doing that. Like that's one of the things I like the most." I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
it's not, especially if like as a short, you just pull it up, check out what you have to say, and go from there. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Awesome. Almost human. Lactose intolerant means I can't have uh, dairy without shitting my brains out, is what it means. It's terrible. It hurts. I get the bubble guts. It's gross. It's unfun, but I suffer for the love of ice cream and milk and cheese.
There's a milk because my son is lactose, and there's a milk. It's called A21. Have you heard it? Heard of it?
No.
So, okay, gonna get a little nerdy on you here. So they
Okay.
found that there's a specific protein in certain cows
Okay.
that, and it just became the predominant cow that dairy, that milk comes from. And so A21 is the protein that causes a lot of people to be lactose. So
Really?
they have cows that don't produce that protein, and there's a milk that you can buy called A21, and it's legit milk. It just doesn't have that protein. And for my son, that's exactly the case. That's what happened, and he's good with A21.
How much more expensive is that milk than regular milk?
It's not too bad, but it is slightly more expensive. But it's not as much as you would think. You would think, oh man, that's got to be like designer milk. That's like double the
Yeah.
price. But no, it's not. It's not too bad actually.
I drink lactose milk, just or lactate milk,
Oh yeah. We
and
drank
that is it tastes exactly. It is just regular milk without lactose.
There you go. Well, that's
So,
also a solution.
yeah, it works great for me. Maybe it's the same process. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but all I know is I have lactate milk. I'm good. They even make lactate ice cream, which is great. It's not made by Tillamook, so I have to kind of like betray my roots
Your
a little
roots.
bit, but that's okay.
That is okay. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to get the goods. How are you today? I know I've seen a lot of your X posts, and you're talking about this game that you've been playing. Kingdom something.
Oh, dude, Kingdom Come Deliverance. So I've not yet jumped in. So that game just came. So it's number 2. There's a original to this game. This game dropped, I want to say 5 to 7 years ago. Let's say the first version of it. It's created by an independent studio, and it had massive success. Just the small studio out of nowhere. And so the second one just dropped this week, and I fired it up. I downloaded it. That's what I'm doing this weekend. Finally, ignoring
What kind of game is
everything.
it?
It's an RPG. It's like a medieval RPG game.
Okay.
So, and it's got rave reviews so far. Everybody's loving it, and I loved the first one. I didn't finish the first one. It's freaking long. But I'm really looking forward to dive in and get lost in the world. It's what I'm looking for in my life. Just get lost in a medieval world.
That sounds cool. Because most of the RPGs I've played are like Japanese
Oh,
RPGs
okay.
or oh gosh, like fantasy kind of games. A
Yeah, yeah.
medieval one that does sound cool.
Yeah, so that's what makes this one so unique is that it's based in like reality. So there's no magic or fantasy. There's no dragons, anything like that. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times, not that I don't like those. I love those games. But it just makes it so unique in a world where everything has magic and you can use magic as an excuse, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
This has like this base of reality that's cool. So yeah, highly recommend everyone check it out. It came out this week. Number 2, you don't need to have played the first one in order to understand the second one. They do a good job of catching you up at the beginning. So
What console are you playing that on? Or are you playing it on PC?
you can play it on, it's on all the consoles. I'm going to be playing it on the Series X. So I have all of them. I have the Series X, the PS5, I have PC, the whole shot. So
Yeah, me too. I just don't want to miss anything. So like I
yeah.
love playing video games and so like I want to make sure I have well, I don't have a PS5 yet because I haven't needed it. There's nothing on PS5 that like I gotta have. Um so I have everything other than that.
Yeah. 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 So what's
Are
your
you
go-to? Is there a game that you're playing at the moment or is there a go-to game for you?
Oh yeah. Vampire Survivors. I can't put that game down.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
love Vampire Survivors. I don't know why. I don't know how this happened, but it's like this really have you played it before?
No, I've not played it. I have a buddy who's really into it, and everybody keeps saying you need to play it. But I know it's like Rogue. I know, I mean, I've seen lots of screenshots. It's like top down,
Yeah,
Diablo esque, and then I
kind of.
just
Yeah.
see people murdering millions of.
Oh, it's so addicting. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. I
but it's
I've never played a game like it before, and then um, I think I was listening to some podcast and they were saying, "Hey, you should play this game," and so I downloaded because it was cheap, and then I got hooked, and I just can't stop playing it.
yeah.
But I'll play that or like Balatro. I love Balatro.
Oh, Balatro is way solid. That game came out of nowhere too, and
Yeah,
it like flies under the radar there. But it's here. It is. So you're like a roguelike guy then. You like these
I
rogue,
guess.
like
Yeah,
everything is new every time you play kind of game. That's cool. I like that.
yeah. Sometimes.
Mm.
I got some friends that got me into some games like oh gosh, was it Frontier? I can't remember. It's these games where like you go into these worlds and you gotta like extract out. I can't remember what the kind of game they are, but they're kind of like that where you gotta start new every time, and then like if you
Yeah.
die, you lose everything except for maybe what's in your pocket. I don't like those games. I liked it until there was a new season, and my buddy's like, "Hey, you want to play this game?" I said, "Yeah, let's go play it." And I thought I'd been doing really well. I got my guy like all the gear he needed or whatever. And I'm like, "Hey, where's all my stuff at?" He's like, "Oh man, it resets every season." I go, "What do you mean it resets every season?" He goes, "Yeah, you lost all your stuff." I'm like, "No, I'm done. I'm not going to play this game. It's
Yeah,
not for me."
that is demoralizing sometimes for
Yeah,
sure.
I was not a happy guy at that point. What's your go-to game? Like, where are you?
My favorite game of all time. Well, so right now my go-to game is probably College Football 25. Very much
Okay,
love it. I won. I do like a season league with a bunch of friends that I have, and I won. I won our league. Just saying, guys.
how similar
Uh,
is it to like the old college football games before they got taken down?
It's really, I mean, it's the next iteration of it. So college football is back. In fact, they made so much money off this one. It's like one of the top selling games of last year. College football 25, EA owns it. It's different
Mhm.
than Madden. Not that much different, but different enough that but it's just fun. It's just fun to play. I like playing online
Yeah.
against players. I play ranked. And then that's how I practice so that I can dominate in my league.
What's your team?
USC Trojans.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. That's okay. I can live with that.
Are
I can
you
live with
a
that.
Ducks guy?
No,
Okay.
no. I'm a Beavers guy,
There you go.
unfortunately. I
Unf-
like all the loser teams. Like I'm a Blazer fan. I'm a Beavers fan. I like the Cubs. I like the Dallas Cowboys. I just like losing. Um, it's in my soul. I'm also a big Timbers fan. They haven't been so hot lately. Um,
That's okay. I mean, it's fun when they do win. Yeah,
yes.
it'll be the Cinderella story.
Yeah, I'll have like all these years of pain and anguish I can just unleash on everybody else who's lost to my shitty team. And talking about games, I know you guys just recently released Stacks, just X Stacks.
X Stacks, yep.
Have you been playing that?
Yeah, so I mean, we've just been so busy with the launch and stuff. Played it before it launched, obviously. Been so busy this week with the launch that actually yesterday was the first time that I really got to dive in and go through a bunch of levels, and I went through some today as well. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's great. Really impressed with some players. I mean, some players are really crushing it. I saw some dude posting his like level 88 or 86 accomplishment. Is like, whoa, that is next level. So because once you get up into like the 20s 30s area, it starts to get pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think I got to 26 today.
Oh, well done.
I had to go pick up my daughter.
Yeah, well done. I have to say, shout out to the dev team. Seeing how that has progressed and all the work that's gone into it, it feels like it's in a really good spot. Like it's really interesting. It keeps you, it's challenging enough, but not too challenging. And then it hits you with like a boss fight level that is really challenging and keeps you going. And then keeps going. Yeah, some of those are really well done. So shout out to the development team that worked really hard and really, I think, found this sweet spot going through it. It's legit. It's good.
Yeah, it really is. It's not like, it doesn't feel like a hokey, like just gimmicky game for Upland. It really feels like this could be like a real good standalone, quick, like short session game.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that was the intent. And we were really and the goal that the team had is, let's be the first on Twitter. That's never been done before. Let's do it. Let's merge the metaverse Upland with this social aspect and see what we can do there. And so it's a good first step. It's a good next step, and it's really exciting. It's exciting to see where we go from here.
Yeah. Do you guys have more games on the horizon, maybe?
Maybe. Nothing that I'm aware of at the moment. X-Stacks was kind of our focus right now, and working on improving that and figuring out here what works on Twitter. How does Twitter, being the first is you're kind of paving the path for everyone else. What does Twitter like? What does Twitter not like? And then going from there. So far though, it's been wildly successful. A lot of tweets today, a lot of joins today, a lot of new players today. So by all accounts and measures on our end, it's been a massive success. So it's really exciting.
Are you guys seeing like non-Uplander plays, like people coming through X Stacks that aren't Upland players? Are you seeing much of that?
Yeah, quite a bit actually. So
really?
That's awesome. Today I think was the first day, not the first day, but today we definitely saw a big bump in that. So really, really excited. And that's that cool social aspect of it where, hey, I'm stuck on level 17. I can't get there. Let me go check on Twitter.
Today.
Yeah, let me go check on Twitter. Level 18, I'm just going to skip 17. Oh, I found the link. I'm going to jump into 18 there. And then I'm helping, whoever's linked I click on, they're getting points. Whoever's clicking on my links is getting points. So that's this social aspect that I think is so unique to X at the moment, and taking that aspect to the next level.
Yeah, I'm really loving that. I wish I could see almost like referral points or something. That'd be kind of cool to see, like, hey, here's the people you referred and how many points you've gotten off of referrals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you can see the total points in your leader on your leaderboard there. So but yeah, it's so far so good. So you can, I see Picasso the Uplander say you can skip levels. You can skip levels. You can then go back to them. But if you get stuck somewhere, you just have to go find someone's link in your city for the next level. And you're able to do it. So in fact, the guy that's like, if you see someone on like level 88 and you want to go experience, just click on his link that he shared and you can go experience it and get crushed like a normal person.
Yeah, Picasso, just go search my my X and you'll find at least up to 26. If you're past that, I can't help you, but
there you go.
Go click on my links over there. Was there like what was the communication between Upland and X? Was there any? Was that like a conversation? Was there like a collaboration there, or did they already have this thing sort of set up and you just dove into?
Yeah,
their people?
so I mean, they have the APIs there, and I know that Lee Don and Dirk have been working on thinking about this for a while and looking at, hey, can we use X for this? I'm not sure of any discussions between devs on that side, but I do know that the APIs exist there that you can utilize. So we were just excited that we were able to be the first.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, Stacks is really fun. I found myself not being able to put it down for much of the day. Today's like my first day off in the week, and so it's harder on my phone than it is on my computer. So I play on my computer, and it's like, I'm loving.
Yeah, I'm the same. Some people are really good on their phone, but I have to use the arrows.
Me too.
I'm just so much faster with it, and
The arrows in the space bar.
yeah, arrows, space bar. And when you get to those levels where they just drop, you've got to move.
Yeah, dude. Yes. There was a couple, especially level 17, man. That is a nightmare level. I'm like up to 26. Nothing's been nearly as difficult as that as level 17 so far. That is, I couldn't do it. I had to skip it. I found somebody else's link.
Yeah, level 17 is a boss level. So like there's those they're unofficial boss levels, but that's what we're calling them internally, like these boss levels where they're extra challenging before you got to get to the next.
Yeah, I like that though. I think that's cool. Now are they like on a predictable interval?
Oh, for the I don't know to be honest, what the interval is. Like is it every 10 levels, for instance, or something like that? Right now, as I'm playing through it, it seems like it's not so predictable. Like it's once every, I mean, 17 was the toughest level, because I was thinking like, oh, it's gonna be level 10, right? 10, 20, 30, but nope, 17 was a boss level, clearly.
Yeah, for real. I like those ones that do. There was one where it was like only the straight ones.
Oh yeah. That was cool.
I really like that. I like the ones that are like that, where you only get like one or two of them, and you got to figure out what's the optimal path.
Yeah, I think these kind of games work really well because when you figure it out, and it may be something that's super simple, but when you figure it out, you're like, look how smart I am. Like,
I know,
look, I did that. Like that's the reward that you get, the dopamine hit. Like, yeah, I'm smart. I just crushed that.
Yeah, like everybody who's able to pass level 17 and I had to skip it, like I feel real dumb. I feel like a shit gamer compared to anybody who got through level 17 without skipping it. My hat is off to you. I couldn't do it. So you're a better X Stacks player than I.
And I.
Yeah, that's hard level, man.
Yeah.
I know we don't have a ton of time. And I know you got your game to get to, but I do want to, just roll through some
sure, absolutely.
Well, I already talked to you about what kind of soda you like. Do you call it soda or pop?
Oh, dude, soda. Are you kidding me? Pop. What am I, Canadian? No, it's
I
soda.
don't know.
Are
you?
No, it's soda. Pop. Where's pop? Pop is like Canadian, and what is it like?
The East Coast, I thought.
The East, like North, Northeast, and maybe Midwest says pop.
I see soda pop.
Soda pop. Yeah, I see soda pop too, but I don't think anyone calls it soda pop.
Okay.
It's either soda or pop. I've seen pop Midwest. Yeah, Mess Chef. Those Ohio State fans calling it pop.
Ugh, gross. All right. Well, yeah, I'm drinking my Coca-Cola soda pop here. My wife makes fun of me. I think she calls it pop. I don't know why. And she's not from the Midwest. So I reached out to some of my peoples I chat with, and they're like, "Hey, you should ask X1 these questions." And I don't want to ask like these typical, like you get grilled about upline all the time. So I have just some real normal questions, I think.
No.
What brought you to upline? Like how did you find it? what were you doing before this?
Yeah, so I was working for another startup called Clutch, and what Clutch was this was, gosh, like 2019. Clutch was trying to be like social media for gamers. So think of Instagram, but all it was gaming highlights. And we were the #1 in that category for ourselves. So for instance, you're playing Xbox, you're playing PlayStation 5, you have your, you know, do you do something awesome in Call of Duty? You hit that record button where you could hit share and upload it directly to your Clutch profile. You could stream directly to your Clutch profile. So it was a social media app. And I was doing basically the same thing there that I'm doing here. The only difference is I was streaming every day, like 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And what we would do is go through people's highlights live on stream. And that's how we were promoting Clutch. And then one day Dirk had seen one of my videos and he reached out and said, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Would you like to come work for us?" And I met with Dirk, talked to him, checked out Upland, and said, "Yeah, I'm in. I would love to." And that was like end of 2019, 2020. And I've been here ever since.
Awesome. Do you still do game streaming?
Every once in a while. Game streaming, I have very strong opinions on game streaming, so that may or may not be controversial. So don't at me if you hate me for these opinions. Game streaming is valuable and it's a skill, and if you're good at it, you're very good at it. I think it's the most inefficient way to create content. Having done it for 2 years, 5 days a week, 6 hours a day as a job, it just crushes you. Like, it's like streamers that do it a lot, like they're big, they're larger, and they just ignore chat for the most part because you have to. And you really got to find a group of people to play with. It's exhausting. But no, I love streaming. Now when I live stream, you know, I have friends that do podcasts and stuff that I jump on, and I enjoy that much more. But gaming live stream, I did reach this point, actually, it's funny, where because you're playing games and talking and like doing both and multitasking, when you first start, that's really difficult, actually. You're like, oh, I just want to enjoy this game, but I got to talk to these guys in chat, right? And then you reach this point where you flip, and when you play games by yourself, you're like, oh, this is boring because there's nothing. You're used to like this action happening and chat scrolling. So the thing that's really hard, you really have to make sure you're in a good mental state when you are doing that as a living, because so for instance, like there's lots of stories out there about how social media is toxic for you because of the dopamine hit. And if you, for instance, I post this picture on Instagram and I usually get 10,000 likes on it. I only got 9,000 likes. What did I do wrong? I must be hideous, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Twitch is that on steroids, or not Twitch, but streaming is that on steroids because you get that instant feedback loop. So I would stream at my job for 6 hours a day to anywhere between 500 and 1,000 people. And it's not anything that you're doing necessarily, but if on one day you're streaming to 1,000 people live and you're doing that for 6 hours, and the next day you only hit 900, or you see the numbers going down and up in real time, it just like, you're like, what am I doing wrong? Oh my. And so it's this constant roller coaster of emotions, like trying to get
your head about it while you're streaming and
in your head. Yeah. My solution was lots of pre-workout drinks.
Yeah.
To make it through that 6 hours. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a really good experience. I'm glad that I have it and had it. And other people on the community team, Sam or Squall Muzzer rather, used to do that for in his past life. Other people on the team have done that in their past lives too, and it is a roller coaster of dopamine, Unprofessional Puppets, for sure. So I enjoy it, and I respect people who are really good at it and do it a lot. But it's a commitment. So if you want to do it and do it successfully, you have to be all in.
Yeah. I've done it just a little bit I was raising money. I guess I still do for Extra Life. Have you heard of Extra Life?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Very cool.
So I'd been doing that for like 8 years. And so we would do our 24-hour streams playing video games, and we'd do it for the Children's Miracle Network and our local hospital here in like Dornbecker's Children's Hospital in Portland. And so I would spend, we were streaming all the time. Just getting ready for Extra Life, and by no means like was was our stream like significant in any way, shape, or form. But you're right. Just like if you're not like ready to perform, even for a small amount of people, it's hard.
Yeah.
And then to do that for 24 hours or even like any length of time is difficult.
Yeah, people don't realize. People think, oh, you just fire it up and play a game. Like, no, it's actually much more.
Yeah.
There's much more to it, though. I think streaming has really evolved and is maturing in a way. So, for instance, streaming when it first came out, like when Twitch, for instance, really made it popular and it first dropped back in like the mid, like 2015s, 2014s, right in there. You could grow with streaming. I think live streaming has evolved now where you don't grow via live streaming because it's like the amount of viewers you have is how you get seen. So if you're not at the top dog, you're just not getting seen. That's just the reality of it. But what it is it is a way to connect with your community on a deeper level. So you grow let's take YouTube as an example. You grow your YouTube channel by creating different types of videos that hit the SEO and the algorithm that players can find value in, and you grow your community that way. And then your live stream is this like double click connection that you connect with the community. And you're seeing more and more big time streamers approach it that way. And that's the way the meta is going. And I like it, actually. I think it is like, let's break down the wall. You normally see me on camera. We don't talk to each other. Now let's talk, let's connect, let's get to know each other. And that's what it's evolved to and is evolving to. It's going to be interesting to see what the next step of streaming is, but that's at least where it is now. And I think that's a good place for it.
Yeah, it might be. I think it's probably a healthier place.
I agree. Yeah.
Those that do it for a job, to not be live all the time, and you can make mistakes or whatever, edit it, make it polished, and then really prepare yourself to be live and perform or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And if you notice, those that do it live all the time and are streaming for their job, they're utilizing those live streams to create content to then post, and that post is what grows them. And then so it's this circle. It's a circle of life. It just feeds back into each other.
Yeah, for sure. This is completely off topic. And again, I know we don't have a lot of time, but I have one big concern with Upland, and I've said it so many times.
Feel free.
Is there a time that you could foresee when I will be allowed to say vulgar in any form of chat within Upland?
Vulgar. So I think you just have to be creative with the spell. Have you figured out a creative way for the spelling for that? Okay.
But
it's the automated. I mean, we could technically go in and shut it off tomorrow. But then we have to go through each and every single word. And actually the bot in there that does a pretty decent job. There is annoying ones, I know, that exists in any game. But yeah, is City Pigeon right there? Is that right? Is that the loophole with the at?
I just put I haven't tried the at yet. But I'll just put a space between the L and the G. But it just feels gross.
It feels vulgar. It feels vulgar.
I have vulgar everywhere. Every fucking thing in the game is vulgar this and vulgar that, and then I can't even type it and tell people like, yeah, just go to vulgar varieties or something, and they're like, oh, I can't.
I mean, it may reach a point where we would go through and remove it, but the words that the bot that's being used in there right now does a pretty decent job. Vulgar's annoying, but I mean, you could see why vulgar is on there.
Sure. No, I get it. I'm just being selfish. I just want.
Yeah. Sometimes players think that we're the ones like picking on them, and we're going in and like doing it. There is a review system that we're able to go through, and we see the community team reviews, but we're not hand doing them. So some players have been like, we don't have that much time to just pay attention to you as an individual to be going through and messing with your chats. It's an automatic bot that is catching us. So
because we're all individually so important to Upland.
No, everybody is. Everybody obviously is. But could you imagine
of course, but how can you can't pander to every individual?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hey, did you have a chance to look at, I'm curious. So we announced the builder score this week.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to look over that? Thoughts, impressions,
Yeah,
feedback?
I actually really like it. So I'm gonna have to like draw back on my memory. Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I spent a lot of time talking with Swarley and Laban,
Sure.
and I was like, man, Swarley, this is your thing right here. And I was looking because we'll have complaints about how it feels like sometimes structure ornaments are being are being killed for UGC because it's just being neutered slowly. And then this comes out, and same with like map assets. Don't Up until recently haven't had a lot of like value in building them, other than unless you build something really cool and somebody loves it for whatever reason, maybe. But this really helps kind of bring that to life and adds value to like map assets with Sparklet and structure ornaments all across Upland, and not just one singular city like Tokyo was. And
Yes, yeah. So there's two parts now. So if you think about it, before structure, like what challenges were associated with, for instance, structure ornaments? It was the structure ornament challenge, really, and we've
yeah,
done that for about a year now with the different seasons, and it would exist for the whole season, and you got points for putting properties that were in collections, putting a structure ornament for that season on that property. And that went pretty well. And then we started to look at how can we evolve this? How can we keep it interesting and make it interesting? We experimented last season with Tokyo because we knew Sparklet Wars was coming. Let's focus on Tokyo there. And I think that there was some good there, but there was also some bad. And one of the bads perhaps is that limiting it to Tokyo there, that does limit some things as far as demand for structure ornaments, perhaps.
yeah.
We also, if you remember,
And
we
that was
announced
discouraging.
we announced the collector score. That was our first step into scores, because you have your net worth, but what about objects that don't apply to your net worth? So like block explorers, for instance, or badges, or legits for that matter, passes, season passes, city passes, stuff like that. Those aren't accounted for in your net worth score or your
Right.
Uplander score. So that's what the collector score is there for. So that's all things that you collect. And so then a lot of players, hey, what about map assets and stuff? And we always, we had tossed around the idea of builder score for a long time. Map assets are a little harder to do and took a little more tweaking, because with the collector score, it's cleaner, because everything included in the collector stuff is stuff that comes from Upland. So it's really easy to apply values to them and to weight them. Map assets are harder, for instance, because everyone can create them. So how do you balance those and number them equivalently? So I think we did a good job with the builder score. So for those that don't know, builder score takes into account your ornaments on all of your properties, all of your buildings that you've built, all of buildings that you've started. This is for the all-time collector score. All of your map assets. Now there's a caveat there. If you're a manufacturer of map assets, you're capped at 25. And that's just to make sure that,
Well, I actually really love that. I think that's great, because in so many of the things, manufacturers get an unfair advantage, like for the structure ornament competition, for instance. Like if you create your own structure ornaments, you have a massive advantage over everybody else, because you can just make your own victory, right? You just make them and you can win. You just put your own thing on it over and over and over again, and take yourself to the top. Your only person you're really competing against are other people who make their own ornaments.
So the point, that's exactly why we capped for the map assets. Here is the point, is to own other map assets, right? That's part of building and being a builder, and then make sure you place those on your properties, and then all of the spark that you own and have acquired and have won over time, that all applies to your builder score. Then there's a seasonal one. And the seasonal one basically takes all that whole concept, same as collector score, but breaks it down into the season. So the difference with the seasonal one is the ornaments applied to your season only count frost ornaments, because it's frost season. When we go to blossom season, it will only be blossom season. Now for map assets, all map assets placed in the designated seasonal city. That's a new thing that we're doing since Tokyo. So that will be Las Vegas. And then structures is structures built within a city or started within a city. And then obviously Spark is all Spark 1. So I think we'll see how it goes. It's open beta, same as Collector's Score is. But it's a good first step. And I think it's taking that upland to that next maturity level as far as, hey, we have all different types of players. There are players that race. There are players that buy a bunch of properties and flip them. And then there are players who collect. And there are players that build and love structure ornaments and map assets. So on the structure ornament side, though, actually, it was from one of your shows, listening to the feedback that helped influence how we handle structure ornaments here. And then also, if you think about it, so structure ornaments are before we had one contest per season. That was a structure ornament contest. Now we have the builder score, which counts both all structure ornaments plus seasonal structure ornaments. Plus later in the season, we will have again the structure ornament contest as well. And that's going to be tweaked. So in Tokyo, previous it was structure ornaments and collections. Last season, it was structure ornaments just in Tokyo. We think we found a good medium that will make sure you read the announcement when it does come out, that I think will make it more interesting and also address some of the concerns there with the structure ornaments. But it is coming this season, and it just is more ways for structure ornaments to get used and be rewarded for being used.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I was curious about one thing. So with the builders collection, the builder score challenge, the builder challenge, how do you guys get like brand new players involved in that? Like, because I feel like if you're a brand new player, you don't have a shot in hell at that.
Sure.
How do you guys see like gearing that towards new players as well, to give them a fair advantage?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So for some contests, like the structure ornament challenge, we've done this. We put players, they only compete against other players at their same level. So like uplanders compete against uplanders, executives and above compete against executives and above, and then pros, compete against pros. So that helps with that, because then everybody's basically at the same level where they're at. And if you're not, and if you end up leveling up, then, well, guess what? You're still at your same level competing on that leaderboard. Other things are much deeper and long-term and deeper down the funnel. And I think the builder score is probably that. So I think the seasonal aspect of it is easier for new players versus the all-time. If you look at who's on the all-time leaderboard right now, I mean, it's all long-term players. It's all big-time players. It's all players who have created a ton of stuff, who have built a ton of stuff. That's going to take time if you're a new player coming in, and a lot of hours invested in the game in order to get there. But the seasonal one is a little bit easier. But the fact is the builder score is probably deeper down the funnel for a new player. And it will take, if I'm new into the game, I'm not as concerned with the builder score. It's nice to see. I'm concerned about, figuring out how do I buy properties? Yeah. How do I play the game? Properties. What am I into? There's all these things to do. What do I like? What do I like to collect? What do I like to do? What is my long-term goal there? And then players fork and take different paths from there.
Yeah, I think that's great. As much as I want to see, new players have things that they can immediately come into, it is nice to see that like Upland isn't just solely concerned with brand new player acquisition. That is super important, but not in every aspect. Like there are certain things I think that, like, this sounds like it's geared towards more established players, but I think is really good for retention, and giving older players, more established players, something to like grind with or like work on, whereas the new players have this thing to aspire to. I think there's value in that, and I do appreciate the fact that Upland isn't necessarily saying, hey, we're going to do everything for everybody. I think there's value in that personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's how every game is. I mean, I think if you jump into like a World of Warcraft, for instance, there is end game hardcore raids.
Yeah.
And then there is, well, I just jumped into the game. And so then there's everything in between. And what's tricky is you've got to satisfy, like those games, like an MMO is really hard to do, but you've got to satisfy all your audiences. And sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes stuff is created and made and dropped for your hardcore longtime audience. And sometimes stuff is dropped for new players and improving the new player experience. And then sometimes it's more of your casual player that's right there in the middle. But yeah, definitely is a challenge. And as games develop and mature, I think it's something that each game handles independently or differently. They take their own spin on it for sure.
Last couple things. For the Sparklet rebalance, and you guys talked about that a while back. Do you is that something? I thought it was going to happen in January, and maybe I'm just like making that up in my mind. But how close are we to this, or can you speak on that?
I think it's each quarter. So sometime this quarter, I think there is a rebalance, and I would need to go double check off the top of my mind. This is just going off the top of my head rather. But yeah, I think, don't quote me because I said I'm just going off memory here. I think it's by quarter. So,
well, I'm going to lock you in no matter what. Whatever you say on
lock me in
is fact and truth, and we'll take it, but nothing with that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's interesting? Actually, speaking of new players, I think so. If builder score, I would say builder score is probably, I wouldn't say it's anti-new player, but I would say it's casual, longer term player to your longer term hardcore player for sure, particularly the all-time score, right? But X-Stacks, I think, is an example of something that can be utilized for new players for sure too, because absolutely. Hey, I want to earn some Sparklet. How do I do that? How do I connect with the community? There's this hyper casual game that I know how to play. That could be a way that I do that, get some Sparklet, get introduced to the game that way. So there's something for everyone, but not everything is going to be for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. Especially more now, like with this X-Stacks game. I think that's a big piece that gives anybody an opportunity to look at, upland and upland adjacent things. I think that's really cool. I really like X-Stacks. I think that was like I don't know, like an A+ move. Even though I was just thinking like there's people bitching about work on the game, the game itself. Like don't work on other shit until you get this thing dialed in. And in my mind, yes, there is that. But at the same time, it's like you got to keep moving forward, and you got to keep like one foot on the gas and maybe 1 foot on the clutch. You know what I mean? Just
yeah, I mean, and two things can be true at the same time. Like we're working on this feature, but we're also working on like builder score, for instance, is an example of that. Or today we dropped, and we haven't announced it yet officially, but it is live in the game. A new micro manufacturing plant and a new micro showroom as well. That adds, something new for players there, stuff like that. So
a micro show. What is a micro showroom and a micro factory like?
So they're much smaller. In fact, if you pull up the game, you'll be able to see, I believe they're live in there now. So we just have to pull them up. But the details on them, basically they hold less, but they're easier to build as well. So and it's also, you got to think in places where properties are smaller, they'll fit in there really well. Micro factory and micro showroom. In fact,
I'm gonna share this right now. Present. Now you're blowing my mind just for a second here. So, if
I can share. In fact, here, let me do this. Let me DM you.
You go ahead.
Here you go. Right there is a picture, a screenshot of each of them.
Okay. Let's do this instead.
And so you can see, like, those are pretty small properties. Traditional showroom, traditional factory would not be able to fit on those. Now you can.
That is cool.
Yeah, dude, I love the smokestacks on that one. I think it's like super
Yeah.
on the factory there. It's super cool.
So what is the limit on like how much sparklet can you stake on that?
Yeah, so max spark is 20 well spark. So you have to translate to sparklet. Max spark is 20. And then the spark construction hours is 2000. The map assets capacity, max capacity is 100 and the showroom max capacity on this is 100.
Okay. Oh man, this is big time. So for to build, so that's to get it built. So when you're staking your sparklet in the factory to produce your items, what is the max that you can put in
Oh,
there?
that is a good question. I will have to get back to you on that. I don't know.
I would imagine it's less than the small one, which is I think 2,000. So 2 spark, which is the small. I would venture a guess maybe it's 1,000, but you know.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate. I'd have to I'd have to get back. Yeah, but that's exciting.
That is super exciting, actually.
Yeah, so that's actually live right now in the game, and obviously, like on you'll see an official announcement here either later tonight or first thing in the morning.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first.
There you go. There you
You
go.
heard it here first. That's awesome. Okay, excellent. Well, I know we're a bit over the time, which I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I know you got some video gaming to do and whatever else you got going on for the night, but I do appreciate you being willing to jump on with me. I hope we can do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you for having me on. Like I said, I love your show. I love hanging out with the boys. I call it. My wife would be like, "Who are those people?" I'm like, "It's the boys. I'm hanging out with the boys." And then she'll be like, "You need to go to bed." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Well,
I get those same ones. My wife would be like, "You're done. You're not that interesting. Get off the internet." Like, okay.
No, yeah, but great job. Like I said, I love what you guys do. I love the combination of all, Swarley, of MFer, happy MFer there. I love the combination of everybody. I think you guys, I love what you're doing. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And hopefully it only gets better from here. And when we bring Wolf Warner on for Upland After Dark, it'll be even that much better.
Yeah. No, looking forward to it. So, hey, thank you very much for having me on. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in Upland.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, X1. Peace.